Welcome to This Horror Real.
I was standing in my bedroom with the front door locked when I heard somebody breathe from inside my closet. Not a floor creak, not the AC, not pipes in the wall. It was close, low, and human. The closet door sat open just a couple inches, leaving a dark gap staring back at me. The problem was maintenance had just left my apartment less than 20 minutes earlier. I watched them leave. I watched the elevator doors close. I locked my front door afterward. So when I heard that breath and saw the closet door move another inch on its own, I realized somebody might still be inside. I backed into the corner of my room and stared at the closet. My apartment was small, which meant there was nowhere to hide and nowhere to run. I called the leasing office looking for a simple explanation, but every call went straight to voicemail. Then my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number asking, "Maintenance finished?" Before I could answer, another text appeared. "Door locked?" As I read it, the closet door clicked softly from the inside. I left the bedroom and headed toward the front door. That was when I noticed a red toolbox sitting against the hallway wall. Maintenance should have taken everything with them. I remembered watching them carry their bags out, yet this toolbox remained. As I reached for the deadbolt, I heard something drag slowly across the carpet in my bedroom. Then someone knocked 3 times from the hallway. Looking through the peephole, I saw nobody there. My phone buzzed again. The text read, "Don't open it." The apartment app allowed residents to view a hallway camera near the elevator. I opened the feed and watched footage from just minutes earlier. A man wearing a maintenance shirt appeared on screen and walked directly toward my apartment after the real workers had already left. He stopped outside my door and disappeared from view. The timestamp confirmed it happened after I had locked myself inside. Then I heard a whisper from somewhere in my apartment. A voice quietly asked, "Is she still by the door?" The whisper didn't come from the closet. It came from the bathroom. Maintenance had been working there earlier, and the door was partially open. My phone battery suddenly dropped fast, and when I tried calling 911, the screen went black. Looking around, I found my charger plugged into a wall outlet near the bathroom where I never left it. The bathroom door slowly opened wider, and a clean, bare hand appeared around the edge. Whoever was inside was not trying to leave. I rushed to the front door and tried to get out. The locks opened, but the door refused to move. Looking closer, I saw the chain lock hooked in place. I never used that chain. Someone had secured it while I was distracted in the bedroom. That meant they had moved freely through my apartment without me realizing it. As I struggled to remove it, a voice behind me calmly said, "Wrong one." I finally freed the chain and pulled the door open. Behind me, the closet door slammed fully open. I ran into the hallway and pounded on my neighbor's door. At first she refused to answer, but eventually she whispered through the door that she had seen maintenance leave earlier. Then she told me something worse. One of them had returned. As she spoke, I saw the stairwell door at the end of the hall slowly closing, as if someone had just passed through. Yet at the same time, I heard a kitchen drawer opening inside my apartment. Whoever was inside wasn't gone. The realization hit me immediately. One person had left through the stairwell, but another was still inside my apartment. My neighbor finally let me inside her unit. As we listened through the shared wall, footsteps moved from my kitchen to my bedroom. Whoever was inside no longer cared about staying hidden. Then a man calmly said my full name, not just my first name, my entire name. While my neighbor called 911 from her landline, I looked out her window toward the parking lot. A white van sat near the back fence with its side door open. Papers spilled from a black trash bag nearby. Lease documents, work orders, tenant information. Then loud crashes echoed from my apartment. Closets slammed. Furniture moved. Someone shouted, "Where is it?" I suddenly remembered a maintenance worker asking if I lived alone earlier that day. At the time, it felt harmless. Now it felt planned. Police were on the way, but before they arrived, a shadow stopped outside my neighbor's door. We watched silently as a maintenance key card slid underneath. A calm voice announced itself as building maintenance and claimed there was a leak that needed inspection. It was the exact same excuse used to gain access earlier. We stayed quiet. Then a metallic sound came from my neighbor's bathroom vent. Both of us turned toward the bathroom. The vent cover shifted. One screw fell into the sink, then another. The cover finally dropped, and a hand reached through the opening. The fingers felt along the wall as though searching for something. Then the hand turned over. Written across the palm in black marker was my apartment number. Seconds later, the front door began shaking violently as someone tried to force their way inside. Police sirens filled the parking lot just as the chair bracing the door began cracking. The hand disappeared back into the vent. Footsteps thundered through the hallway. Officers shouted commands from outside. The noise became overwhelming. When police finally secured the building, my apartment was destroyed. Closet doors were off their tracks. Furniture had been moved. Cabinets were ripped open. My charger cord had been cut in half. Most disturbing of all, police found my phone sitting on the kitchen counter. It had never died. Someone had simply turned it off. Police captured one suspect hiding behind the building. He wore a maintenance uniform but no longer worked for the complex. He had been fired months earlier. Investigators later discovered former employees still had access to work orders, tenant information, apartment layouts, and personal details. That explained how he knew my name and knew I lived alone. But it did not explain the second person. It did not explain the text, and it did not explain why the arrested man kept repeating "wrong one" during questioning. I moved out within days. The office offered new locks and apologies, but I wanted nothing to do with that building. Weeks later, my old neighbor called me. New tenants had moved into my former apartment. That same night, someone knocked on their door claiming to be maintenance. The person used the exact same excuse about a leak. Police arrived before anyone opened the door, but whoever was there disappeared. The only thing left behind was a maintenance key card. Written on the back in black marker was my old apartment number. If you ever have maintenance, contractors, or anyone with building access inside your home, don't assume watching them leave is enough. Check every room, check every closet, check every vent, because sometimes the danger doesn't arrive by breaking in. Sometimes someone is already inside before you realize they never left. And sometimes the most terrifying part is knowing that whoever came back might still be looking for the apartment they called the wrong one. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to The Horror Reel.